is just bookish or who is just doing her CCA and ignoring her studies. She can do impromptu debates. That's her specialty. And then, of course, Mahisha loves doing fancy dress and then speech, dance, singing. Several contests she has been doing ever since she was 4 years old. I've seen one of Mahisha's really cutie pie pictures, a very younger day picture I saw recently. Like it was so beautiful that Mahisha has started doing something at that very young age, actually. And now you will be surprised to know that she also got a gold award. Mahisha got a gold award in a national level competition called the Science Elements. And we welcome Mahisha to present her paper. And Vijay, please share her PowerPoint slide, spotlight Mahisha also. Thank you.
Can I start?
Yes, Mahisha, you can.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mahisha Muthukumar, and I'm studying in Primary 5, Singapore. This is my first paper presentation, and today my topic is how do primary school children tackle and cope with peer pressure. First of all, I would like to extend my appreciation to Dr.Raji Sreenivasan, my mentor, MAST, Masters Academy of Speech and Training, and ACE International Limited for giving me this golden opportunity to present this paper on how do students tackle peer pressure in Singapore. I'd also like to thank my family, especially my brother and my teacher, Madam Arul, who has helped me a lot to research and guide me along the way as I prepare this presentation. Next slide, please. According to the Oxford Dictionary, pressure from the people of your age or social group to behave like them in order to be liked or accepted is known as peer pressure. Peer pressure is something that someone gets mentally or physically distressed by their peers. Peer pressure could have positive and negative influences over the children. The objective of this paper is to examine how do Singapore primary children tackle and cope with this peer pressure. Next slide, please. What is peer pressure and what could it do? Though children of all ages experience peer pressure, my focus in this paper is on peer pressure experienced by primary school students in Singapore. When children even as young as 4 or 5 years old experience peer pressure, it is not surprising that primary school children are not spared of this. Peer pressure is the pressure experienced by children to ape someone else's likes, dislikes, behavior, attitude, and even ape them to the extent of losing their own identity. When primary school children succumb to this, they tend to lose their fine line between good and bad, truth and untruth, and they easily transgress into dangerous waters. Next slide, please. Can peer pressure be attributed only to changing mindsets and children's traits? No. Family problems, senses of insecurity faced in their own family atmosphere, doubts about their own personal abilities, appearance, possessions, and many such factors contribute to peer pressure. Insensitive families also play a role in triggering peer pressure in schools. Luckily, schools have mandatory school uniforms and PE uniforms for all the students. Otherwise, we don't know what kind of outfits these children would sport in schools as parents' wealth is flaunted to their children's outfit. When a primary school child brings a designer backpack, designer water bottle, fashionable pencil case, even expensive lunch boxes, etc., these objects do create a peer pressure among the gullible kids. When a child comes to a school with a so-called ergonomically suitable backpack, other children whose parents can afford to buy only bags from their neighborhood shop sales feel the pressure to go for this high-end backpack as their desire to gel with the rest of the crowd is strong. Sometimes a clique is formed around the child who sports all these sought after worldly possessions. Many parents do not realize that buying expensive possessions for a primary school child to flaunt the parental wealth in the school could trigger not only peer pressure for others to ape like these children, but it could also trigger petty thievery, cheating, pilfering among the other children. So the desire to be accepted by their classmates, their cohort, and their age group elsewhere slowly eats up the children within and leads to mental depression also in the long run. Next slide, please. As Singapore Motherhood magazine classifies, peer pressure happens to the primary school children in Singapore in the following areas: dressing, grooming, and entertainment choices, engaging in vulnerable behavior on the internet or on social media, ownership of products like smart devices and branded goods, standards of academic and non academic achievements, whether to follow rules or break them, and demonstrate risky attitudes, physical appearance, and attractiveness, views on political or social issues, whether to be friends with or to bully peers. I'm only focusing a few aspects here to establish my point. Looks. Many students have body and looks issues even at primary school stage. If they are obese, even due to conditions like thyroid or family physical traits, due to acquired DNAs, they are shamed by their classmates, and even school indirectly contributes to this active attitude by putting the students in obese clubs. However, good intentions the school might have. All obese children cannot be labeled under the same category and shamed as kids who do not physically or exercise. When these children try to participate in dance programs, they are either not given an opportunity or their peers look at them like an odd person in the group of delicate, nimble footed people. Encouraging weight loss of these kinds of obese kinds ironically serves to validate the opinion of body bullies. It will send the message that yes, the pupil's body is defective, ugly, unhealthy, overweight, and cannot be trusted around food. Avoid dieting yourself. It models and normalizes this unhealthy behavior and can pass on body anxieties to the student. Peer pressure due to clique formation. Even primary school students form cliques. Unless a child adheres to the rules of the cliques, they are dumped by their so called friend. It is very difficult for the normal child to understand why he or she is dumped and shut away from a group where she or he was accepted before. This creates immense pressure for the child, and it has led to depression and performance issues in terms of their studies. For this, any amount of advice will not help this child to cope with this situation. Parents and the school together should address this issue and arrange for counseling for these affected children. On the one hand, and the pastoral care team of the school should address all the clique bosses and members of the class individually to resolve these issues. Peer pressure due to possessiveness. Students who face peer pressure from others who are very possessive of their friendships could be attended to by their family and counselors immediately to avoid these children experiencing the pangs of breakup like symptoms even at a young age. The students also should make an effort to understand that tying down with one friend is not healthy from them at this young age. Instead, they should allow themselves to understand the styles and attitudes of various types of friends, which would go a long way into allowing themselves to grow into a well-adjusted human being in the long run. These kinds of possessive friends would limit their social circle and the possibility of the future benefits from an expanding groups of friends. Additionally, having more friends means that they can have a wider source to get help and enjoy your time. Next slide, please. In conclusion, if an average primary school student who demonstrates a bossy, destructive attitude but unfortunately becomes a leader of a clique Other children should be alert to this attitude and immediately report it to their parents, teachers, or school counselors. Peer pressure is something that should not only be addressed to with a sick intention to uproot it, but also as a sickening attitude that could destroy the society at large. Thank you.